Hi there, Luke here with another video. For those of you unfamiliar with our channel, my husband Tyler and I make weekly travel videos where we document our experiences since moving from North America to the UK. If you watched our last video, you'll know that we had been traveling for a few months, but had just started in the country of Romania, specifically visiting the city of Bucharest, as well as the Sinaia area. In this video, I'm going to take you to a couple other regions that we visited, including the Transfagarasan road, as well as the cities of Sibiu, Sighișoara, Turda Salt Mines, and Cluj-Napoca. If you enjoy these videos, please be sure to give a comment, like, subscribe, and a tip with the super thanks button if so inclined. It really does help support this channel. I want to start off with the Transfagarasan road because this is probably one of the most iconic drives in all of Romania and is well worth your visit. In order to get here, we did a day trip from the city of Sibiu and specifically drove to Bulia Lake. This road is a paved mountain road that crosses the southern section of the Carpathian Mountains of Romania and is the second highest paved road in the whole country. The road is usually closed from late October until late June because of snow, but we were there around the end of the season, around mid to late September, so we were there just kind of at the end of the season to visit the road. Ironically, the night before our drive, it had snowed around the famous Bulia Lake, and to the point where many guests that were staying at the mountain lodge happened to be stuck due to the icy road conditions. Fortunately, we did not have any mishaps with driving on this road. The road itself was very well maintained, and it was more just the car parks and areas that were a bit dicey. We managed to get to the top without any problems and parked our car so that we could do a short walk around this lake. It was really nice to leisurely enjoy the different views of the lake, the snow, as well as the nearby lodges. We couldn't believe how lucky we were to see this road in such snowy conditions while also feeling quite safe because of how well maintained the roads were, because generally when we searched this road, this is not the type of views that we saw online, and we were really pleasantly surprised. We thought that it looked especially cool with the white of the snow. Once we were done enjoying walking around and driving around, we headed back to the other side of the mountain, this time towards Dracula Dam. Here, because we were lower altitude, the snow had gone away, so we enjoyed just some of the views that you get walking around the dam and enjoying some of the water and mountain views. And we also stopped for a coffee just to really take it all in. In order to return back to Sibiu, we simply took the same road back we came. Therefore, we got to enjoy the whole Transfagarasan road a second time. And we weren't complaining because really you could do this road many times and it's so enjoyable. Just sitting back, enjoying the majestic views that you get. I can't stress it enough, this was probably one of the main highlights that we had when we think back of Romania. So as I mentioned, this was a day trip from the city of Sibiu, so let's talk a bit about some things that we did in the city of Sibiu itself. Nicknamed the City with Eyes, the city of Sibiu is a well-known tourist destination and is in the process of becoming a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Sibiu is a pedestrian-friendly city with two distinct sections: the Upper Town, home to most of Sibiu's historic sites, as well as the Lower Town, which is lined with colorful houses on cobblestone streets and bounded by imposing city walls and defense towers overlooking the river Sibiu. In case you're wondering why it's called the City of Eyes, it's because many of the buildings have openings in the roofs that look like eyes, which are in fact ventilation windows for the attics. And I would say this is probably the most distinctive feature of this city, and it is kind of fun to walk around and just look at the different eyes in the different buildings in the city. Within the limits of Sibiu Old Town are Sibiu's major attractions, including the Great Square, Hewitt Square, and the beautiful Passage of Steps, which connects the upper town to the lower town. Most of the main attractions of Sibiu are located in the Old Town, so let me walk you through some of the major things that we saw here. First up is the Bridge of Lies. The Bridge of Lies is a popular meeting place for locals and is a nice place to enjoy some views of the city. It is the first cast iron bridge built in Romania and the second one built in all of Europe. The most popular legend surrounding the bridge is that the bridge will collapse when someone tells a lie while standing on it. The next stop that I want to feature is the Council Tower, which is a 13th century tower that offers great panoramic views of the city from above. In order to get these views, you can enter the tower and climb the stairs to the top. Other great spots to visit include the Great Square and Hewitt Square, as well as the Lutheran Cathedral of St. Mary. We really did just enjoy walking around, taking in the ambiance of the city, and appreciating the pretty buildings. One fun surprise that we came upon was what is called the Tanner's Tower, which is this covered walkway and tower, and is just nice to look at and walk beside. Another city worth mentioning that is not too far away from Sibiu is Sighișoara. In order to reach Sighișoara, we actually came from Brașov, which was a city that we talked about in our last video. On our way from Brașov to Sighișoara, we stopped briefly to look at a pretty church along the way, and we also encountered a really cute cat that we enjoyed spending some time with. It was admittedly a bit of a rainy day, but we still fell in love with the town of Sighișoara. Sighișoara is located in the historic region of Transylvania and is a popular tourist destination for its well-preserved walled old town, which is listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Each year, a medieval festival takes place in the old citadel in July. In Eastern Europe, Sighișoara is one of the few fortified towns that's actually still inhabited. The town is made up of two parts. The medieval stronghold was built on top of a hill and is known as the Citadel, while the lower town lies in the valley of Târnava Mare River. We just enjoyed walking around the town, taking in all the colorful buildings and architecture. One of the major attractions that we visited in town is the clock tower, and we enjoyed climbing up to the top and taking in the panoramic views of the town below. After all that walking and exploring, we decided it was time for lunch, and we headed to the Casa Vlad Dracul, where we enjoyed some traditional Romanian food. Casa Vlad Dracul is the place where Vlad the Impaler, the historical character who inspired the Bram Stoker's Dracula, is supposed to have been born in the year 1431. So naturally, after lunch, we headed into the museum exhibition, which is just on the upper floor of the building, and we had a bit of a spooky encounter with Dracula himself. After all of this, we continued our walk through the historic old town, passing by several historic towers and even walking through a covered stairway that was quite pretty to walk through. The stairway led us to a cemetery up to the historic walls, and the views from here were amazing, even with the rain. We relaxed the rest of the day in our accommodation, and we were very fortunate that our hosts left us a bottle of vișinată, which is a traditional Romanian drink made from sour cherries, sugar, and alcohol. And we just enjoyed just sipping on our vișinată and relaxing the rest of the night. Moving on to our next stop is what is called the Turda Salt Mines. This was a stop that we made on our way to the city of Cluj-Napoca, And believe it or not, the Turda Salt Mine was ranked in 2013 by Business Insider as among the 25 hidden gems around the world that are worth the trek. And I would say I would agree with this. It was quite a pleasant surprise to see how much this particular attraction offered. The Turda Salt Mine was renovated and reopened its doors in 2010 after an extensive €5.8 million investment. There are various rooms and caverns to explore and is completed as a self-guided tour. One of the main areas is the Turda Mine. Spanning a height of 300 feet, there is an underground lake and an island formed from residual low-grade salt deposits. We could not believe how this lake was just at the bottom of this cave, and there were even paddle boats that we were excited to rent and get to go around the lake and explore some of this cool cave lake atmosphere. So that was a really fun surprise. I didn't expect it to be as large and expansive, this whole attraction, and I would say that it was definitely worth the visit. After a few hours exploring the Turda Salt Mine, we proceeded to our final destination of this video, which is Cluj-Napoca. Cluj-Napoca is the unofficial capital of the Transylvania region and is the fourth most populous city in all of Romania. It's home to universities, vibrant nightlife, and landmarks dating to Saxon and Hungarian rule. Tyler and I had previously met a Romanian couple while we did a walk during our time in Spain, specifically the Caminito del Rey, and when we told them that we were visiting Romania, they told us that they actually live in Cluj-Napoca, and we exchanged details and decided to meet up with each other. So we were excited to see them again, and they kind of gave us a locals tour of the city of Cluj-Napoca. One of the stops we made in Cluj-Napoca was visiting the Cluj-Napoca Romanian National Opera. They had a free art exhibition, which was a really fun thing to see and be a part of. The combination of some of the modern art fixtures with the classical architecture of the opera house was a cool juxtaposition to enjoy and experience. Outside of the museum is a small park area as well that's nice to walk around, especially on a sunny day like we had. Another spot that's nice to walk around and take pictures is the main square, or Union Square, and here is a large Matthias Corvinus statue, which is a monument honoring King Matthias Corvinus, erected in the year 1902. All right, everyone, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll stay tuned for more of our videos on Romania, because there's a lot more to share. If you haven't already, be sure to give a comment, like, subscribe, and leave a tip with the super thanks button if so inclined. Helpful as always. Stay tuned for our next video, which happens to be the last video in our Romania series, where we visit the absolutely beautiful Maramureș area, which is a very traditional region of Romania, as well as some beautiful monasteries and even what is called the muddy volcanoes. So definitely some diversity in the country of Romania that you may not have expected, but definitely worth seeing. So stay tuned for that in our next video. See you at the next one. Bye.